I can explain.
Greetings, fellow mortals. Just a reminder, saying it's just my opinion is for cowards. Last year, I watched the first season of Dandadan and was outright shocked by how much I actually loved it, especially because it's the rare battle shonen style of entertainment where the romance is not only at the front of the story, it's actually the story in and of itself. Plus, it's actually done surprisingly well, with the two main characters steadily growing closer together without weird backtreading and character regression. It's actually kind of impressive.
We knew you could do it!
And at the beginning of this video, I would just like to say one thing above all else. I really like Dandadan. There is hardly an aspect of the manga and anime that I don't like, even the weirdness and the crude humor. Why? Because this is 100% a single person's intended vision for their dream project, and it shows.
Well, hang on, you've just...
No, I like it. This is brilliant. But I like this.
The problem with Dandadan is that it's really hard to talk about Dandadan with other people. You want to talk about gatekeeping? This is 100% a series that is advertising its uniqueness within the first few episodes and chapters, straight up telling you not to watch or read it if you do not like this. And you know what? Mad respect.
Nice. 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 Nice.
First off, the essay. I am in no way a person who wants to silence a creator from expressing their views in their art. They can do what they want, and Yukinobu Tatsu isn't exactly endorsing it. He's actually condemning it pretty intensely. The characters who threaten to do it to Momo are treated as irredeemable monsters who will not be redeemed like a vast majority of the antagonists throughout the series. Villains do bad things and are punished accordingly. It's not really complicated stuff, so I can't really get mad at it.
Oh, it's so obvious! I would have never thought of that!
I can see the argument, however, that someone wouldn't want to watch it happen on screen. It's awkward, and I don't particularly like seeing it myself. I kind of want it to hurry along when it's happening, and if someone has experienced that in real life, I would understand if they didn't want to watch it. So if someone flipped off because of that, I understand, I get it. And you know what? Okarun having his testicles stolen is basically SA2, and that's treated as a joke, so there's that. So at least it's equal, I guess, even if it's still terrible.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
There is also the difficulty of mixing the various different genres. Dandadan is a romance story, a battle shonen, a science fiction tale, an urban fantasy, a wacky slice of life comedy, and a series with more than a few horror inspirations. The first half of season 2, the haunted house arc, has more than a few themes, concepts, and images that reek of Junji Ito. I was slightly disturbed by what I saw, but in a good way, in a way that made me creeped out, not in a way that made me want to quit, but the rapid shift in tone was unexpected, although I guess considering that they went to a haunted house in the middle of the mountains, I probably should have seen that coming, so that was on me.
This is quite a shock! On the other hand, it's not surprising in the least.
Every single arc feels drastically different than every other section of the series. Not in a way that feels disjointed or that we're experiencing an entirely different story, although Dandadan starts by outright telling the audience that both ghosts and aliens are real in this world. The beginning hides nothing as genres mix, swap spit, and have babies together, half of which are outright adorable and the other half being monsters beyond imagination.
Good clean. Shave, maybe some cologne, the chicks will be all over you.
Somehow, it starts like an action-packed Mythbusters, leading to a slice of life drama, then to Stranger Things of all things, a bit of Uzumaki then, a surprising bit of battle shonen, and then ending up with a mix of Godzilla and Power Rangers. Yes, I know that the source of Power Rangers is Super Sentai, and I'm talking about something from Japan. My point being is that there is a rapid shift in what each arc is like.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
There's an assumption in Dandadan that the audience will know and like various different genres, stories, and references. In fact, I'm absolutely stunned by the American pop culture shoved through the pages and the screens of the adaptations. Yukinobu knows what he likes and he puts it in there. And he expects you to have a wide range of taste too. And you know what? He hit the target audience on the head with that glitter-covered sledgehammer.
I am honored and at the same time humiliated. So thank you and curse you.
Yep, Dandadan is a perfect fit for me, especially with its gorgeous animation and art style, especially in the manga, which unfortunately for most people is a turnoff for some reason in America because a bunch of terrible looking CGI is apparently better and more mainstream for some reason. Just great. I don't hate that trend in America at all. Either animation has to be for kids or for raunchy comedies that aren't all that funny to begin with.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
As I said earlier, the oddities which are infused with Dandadan's DNA are what endear it to me. Nothing is like Dandadan. I can't compare it to anything, whether it be good or bad, because Dandadan is unique, something that's strange not only in the anime manga genre, but also in storytelling in general. Sure, you can see inspiration seeping through every section of the story, but it's like a winged kangaroo covered in purple polka dots appeared in a field of deer and rabbits. They're technically all mammals, but one of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong.
Someone drove a hot dog-shaped car through the window!
Yeah, come on. Whoever did this, just confess. We promise we won't be mad.
The reason the mixture of genres and tones works so well is because it's anchored by the characters. As I've previously stated, this is a love story first and foremost. Dandadan starts off promising the audience that Okarun and Momo will end up together by the end of the series at least. I mean, the story could continue well past when the actual dating start happens and just shows them developing in their romantic relationship. Their established yet developing characters grounds the absurdity so that it can't float away like my birthday balloons did when I was 5 years old. No, I'm not over that.
Teach my sons to hate his sons, and I expect the same from him. Thank you.
And the romance part is good. It's heartwarming to the point that I think that my wife would love to watch that aspect of the show with me. It's just that other sections would turn her off. I mean, she's not that into battle shonen anymore, and she really doesn't like sci-fi outside of Star Wars. So once again, it's hard to recommend, even though I adore all the side characters as well and would love to talk to people about them. Psycho, Turbo Granny, Ira, Jin, Evil Eye, Peeny Weenie, and the other members of the family who eventually join that I won't spoil too much because you might not be caught up with the manga.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
Dandadan steadily shifts to an ensemble cast of characters who are the weirdest bunch of people you could ever meet. Awkward, nerdy Okarun, flashy, passionate Momo, psychic, grumpy Psycho, secretly considerate Turbo Granny, vain and argumentative Ira, charismatic and quirky Jin, so on and so forth. It gets to the point where you quickly care about these people and their relationships with each other. Yes, they are in fact a strange adopted family of sorts.
I like you. Have a cupcake. I like you. Have a cupcake. I like you. Have a cupcake.
Every arc makes the audience care by having the goals revolve around the characters that you already like. The MacGuffins are literally parts of Okarun himself. Other arc goals are to help specific people. Their continued developments and dynamics keep you going, keep you invested, keep you anchored. The characters are everything in this series, even beyond the two main love interests. This is absolutely perfect, by the way. Generally speaking, there are three aspects of storytelling that are most important above all else: the characters, the setting, and the plot. Generally speaking, in that order. If the characters in Dandadan were flat or stagnant, you wouldn't care about them in this wild adventure in a weird world with a story that really doesn't have an overarching plot. Now, my commentary on the story might seem critical so far, but that's because it's hard to explain, hard to recommend. What it isn't is boring or more predictable. If you read a lot and learn tropes, you tend to be able to predict everything that's going to happen in every single story you ever experience. And that's as mind-numbing as it sounds.
You look lonely. I can fix that.
Usually, the only time I'm surprised by anything at this point is if it doesn't make any sense, because things come out of left field like a football suddenly spawned into a baseball game. Now, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. But in Dandadan, the wild circumstances and how the characters get out of trouble do make sense in a weird way that keeps you on your toes. You don't see it coming, but it makes perfect sense. I don't know how he pulls it off.
Excellent. Here, have a look. Good.
The pacing is also surprisingly solid. For such a rapid-paced series, there's just enough downtime between the action to keep you from becoming antsy while also preventing you from losing interest from burnout. While the romance is a slow burn, more of a when they instead of a will they, the arcs move pretty fast, almost too fast in the manga. I don't know if it's just me or not, but I often have to go back through action scenes and examine various different panels because something about the flow doesn't stick right with me sometimes.
So I am confusion. Why is this one Kansas, but this one is not Arkansas?
I love the artwork in the manga, maybe a little bit too much. The amount of detail is absurd. That is one way that the manga is definitely superior. So maybe I'm just getting distracted. That could be on me, but this is one of the few times where I actually think the anime does something a little bit better. The buttery goodness of the animation is pulled together by clear and unique cinematography. It looks amazing. I love that aspect of it.
I've only had Arlo for a day and a half, but if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
But the one thing that puts the Dandadan anime above the manga is the music. This is a series which requires background music and sounds accompanying it. Having actual music in each scene does in fact help more often than not than the majority of other anime and the majority of shows in general. Without the sound, you miss something in Dandadan, especially with the hip hop and rock references on the front of everything. I mean, there was a rock concert to do an exorcism, and I can't tell you how much I love that.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Personally, I don't have any real critiques of Dandadan as a story. It most certainly doesn't have a plot, I have to give you that. But the plot is the building romance in this odd world. So it really doesn't need a gigantic series-long goal or a big bad villain that the main characters need to take down at all costs. The threats are really only to the characters involved for the most part. Even though, theoretically, plenty of people should have died during these various antics and somehow they didn't, so whatever.
Did it, Patrick! We saved the city! Just think what might have happened if we didn't tell everyone about the monster!
About the what?
For what it's trying to be, Dandadan Season 2 is basically perfect, especially when it comes to the humor. In all honesty, I didn't really laugh much at Season 1 or the first bit in the manga. It really feels like the people behind the scenes with this series found an understanding of what the humor in this universe is with these characters. This is especially true during the Evil Eye arc. I have not laughed consistently at a manga or anime in a long time like with that, which is why it is a stark contrast from the self-harm Junji Ito stuff from the arc prior. Once again, whiplash, I'm just saying.
Oh, I made myself sad.
Without any real critiques, all I can say is that I kind of wish that I could recommend this to more people, and I wish I could talk with more people about it. If someone is deep into anime already, they already probably love this. But anyone casual or not into the medium would be turned off immediately. Sure, the gatekeeping prevents people from demanding absurd changes to the source material, but maybe there's a limit so that I can recommend the show without feeling like I'm the one guy who's really into the novel Lolita for some reason. Have you met that person? That guy is weird.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
Dandadan is weird, unique, different, beautiful, and heartfelt. It's completely and unashamedly its own thing. It's rare that I go into something thinking that there's nothing that I really want to change about it, but here we are. With the second season over, I really need to get into what is effectively part 2. Sometimes you have to give good things a break, because once you're done with them, what's left to look forward to? No more Dandadan? I hope that doesn't happen for a long while.
Don't try to talk me out of it. I'm sure it's completely... Nope, 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 never again.
But what do you think? Does the quirkiness of Dandadan endear you to it or turn you off from it? How do you talk with someone who doesn't know Dandadan? How do you suggest it? Should this really just be a core thing for the audience and just no one else is allowed into the club? Please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, if you disagree with everything I have to say, that is perfectly fine. After all, everyone is entitled to their objectively wrong opinion.
I can explain.
Thank you all so much for watching.
You're still here?
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. You bye. Boom.
Do not despair.